Date functions are critical when building a compensation model for your organization. We are going to look at 3 key date functions in this tutorial. First, converting hire dates. Second, years employed at your organization. And third, calculating pay raises based on anniversary date or focal point date. Let's get started. Always begin by taking your raw employee data and inserting it into a table. This makes it quick and easy to manipulate the data. Second, when you're working with hire dates, many times the dates will come out of your payroll system as a long numeric strand. You just simply need to convert these into dates. All this means is the number of days that have transpired between January 1st, 1900 and the date that's associated here. So just go to your format cells, go down to date, and transfer it to a date. Hit OK, and it'll now show you the hire date for these employees. Now, let's calculate the number of years that each employee has worked for your organization. We're going to use a function in Excel called yearfrac. So simply equals yearfrac, the hire date, to today's date, so that anytime that you open up this Excel spreadsheet, it will auto-calculate how many years Greg Warner has worked for your organization. Many times it'll show up as a date. Simply select, go to your table formats, the cells as a number. Next, we're going to write a series of formulas to calculate the number of work days for each one of these employees based upon the start date, the end date, and the number of holidays in your fiscal year. Therefore, we know the number of work days for each employee. We'll begin by inserting a start date. Let's put in 8/15 and an end date. Let's do through 6/1 or 6/10/2017. So let's copy this down. They're showing up as numbers, but we will format these here to dates. Let's just go to Format Cells, Dates, and now they're converted. Let's say that each employee has 10 holidays this year. Let's just double click all the way down so every employee has 10 holidays. Now let's go in and use a formula called network days. And network days does 2 things. It asks you for a start date, an end date, and how many holidays that you have. This will calculate the number of work days that this employee has this fiscal year. So all these employees have 214 work days for this new fiscal year. Last, let's look at the difference between giving a pay raise on the anniversary date or the focal point date. Giving a pay raise on an anniversary date simply means the month and day in which you were hired, you will get your new pay raise, or a focal point date, all employees get a pay raise at the exact same date, which normally is the new fiscal year. So we've written a few formulas here. If you'd like a copy of them, we'd be happy to send you this template so you could see these formulas in detail here. We'll kind of run through some of the basics of this formula so that you can calculate the date of a pay raise for the new fiscal year. So when we're doing pay raises by anniversary date, we're going to use a date formula and a date diff formula to move someone from, let's say, February 3rd of 2013 to February 3rd of 2017 so that we can give a pay raise this year on February 3rd of 2017. That's where the date diff formula comes in this overall date formula. All that it's saying in the date diff formula is the hire date, the start of the fiscal year, give me the number of years. So for this illustration, there's 4 years between 2013 and 2017. And it's simply taking the hire date and adding 4 years to it. Then what we're going to do next, is we're going to take the number of days before the pay raise and the number of days after the pay raise. For this, we use network days like we showed earlier of a start of the fiscal year, the end of the fiscal year. Then we have to calculate the salary before the pay raise and the salary after the pay raise. That's the difference between an anniversary date and a focal point. You have so many days of pay before and so many days of pay after. So you can see that it's going to add up salary before plus salary after versus just the focal point salary. You can see that the anniversary date salaries are less expensive than the focal point date salaries. To get a copy of this spreadsheet template, go to davidpgoss.com, get a spreadsheet template, fill out the form, and submit it to us. We'll be happy to send you a copy of the spreadsheet template.